All right, another gorgeous morning here in California. There's been so much hatred from one person to another. It astounds me how far backwards we've gone since the 60s and 70s when we were trying to embrace everyone. We had multilingual classes. Is that what I'm trying to say? You learned more than one language, and you got to know different people from different places on the earth, and you tried to, fix relationships and get treaties going, start one, start two, and all this, and to get rid of nuclear weapons. And then right after 2000, after George Bush stole the election here in the US and the people let it happen, that was the end, wasn't it? It really was the end. I know a lot of people who said that the end was that was the end, and I do believe they're pretty close, aren't they? So let's talk about one of the big problems we have is overpopulation of humans on this planet. Psychologists call it the comfort zone. It's when you're in a party and you're talking to people and you keep a distance between each other. You're not just bumping chests with each other. There's about an 17, 18, 19 inch difference between, that you like to have is called the comfort zone. Well, I think because we're so overpopulated now that those comfort zones are being pressured all the time. We're pushed past those. You get on the metro and you're right up against people, and you're walking on the sidewalk, you're right up against people, and people are in the way, and you're in somebody else's way. And I think the comfort zone of humanity has just reached its limits, and we're just exploding, not just in numbers, but in just irritation. The Europeans can't stand immigrants, even though they helped create the immigrants in the first place. The U.S. can't stand immigrants coming from Mexico or South America or Central America. They detest, there's a group that can't stand them here in the U.S. And I don't quite understand that, because the U.S. is a nation of immigrants, but yet we're fighting other immigrants from coming in, whether they have a paper or not, whether they get a piece of paper or not, whether it allows them to come in. And we really come up with some strange ones sometimes. And anyway, let's talk about overpopulation. We're at 7,432,165,000 people on this planet, and it is going up very quickly now. Some say exponentially, which is very fast. Let's talk about that. So births today, so for every second here on the planet Earth, there were 3.5 humans born every second. That number's going up. That percentage used to be only 3, now it's 3.5. Deaths on this date were 1 per second or less. So that's leaving quite an increase in population. So there are far more being born than are dying. Let's look at some of this math here. So today's births were 137,255 births during the time that I made the notes of this video. All right, the deaths were 29,116. That gives us a net increase in humanity for just today alone, 108,139 plus humans. Just today alone. That's how many more humans there are on this planet. Do you see there might be a bit of a problem developing here? This year alone, 40,411,590 more humans on the planet. So far, just this year, 2016. That's amazing. So we're exactly the same, but yet we're different enough to irritate each other. Different groups believe in different things. Different people believe in different religions and think everybody else is doomed to hell if they don't believe in their pure religion. The conflict between the black skin or brown skin people and white skin people, why is there conflict there? The conflict between sexual orientation. Why would there be a conflict between what goes on between two private adults in their private bedroom? I don't understand it, you know. So what we have to do to be able to survive the next 100 to 200 years and get on to a type 1 society, which is coming whether we want to or not. It comes automatically. We will develop into a one-type society if we can make it. We have to get through this comfort zone issue and this overpopulation issue. And we can't go to war to thin our numbers down because it will become a nuclear war. So we've really got to use the brain this time to deal with these problems. One of it has to be education. You got to do it through the education system. And you got to make sure that everybody gets a good education so that they have enough knowledge to know how to get around in this planet, and so they don't have to sit there and blame somebody else for their problem, if you know what I mean. And another reason it's so important that we reduce our numbers is clean water. We're really running out of clean, drinkable water very quickly. China's going to be the first one that bites the dust. They have over 1 billion people in population, and they have the least amount of water per person of any other country. They're really, and they've polluted most of the rivers. Most of the groundwater is so polluted they can't use that for drinking water, so that people are having to resort to drinking polluted water. That won't work for very long, will it? You'll end up with a medical emergency so severe you won't believe it. You know, some kind of horrible disease will manifest itself from people drinking bad water and getting sick and ill, and their immune systems are down. And no, there's no advantage to drinking polluted water to anybody. It's as bad as nuclear war. Silly, stupid, dumb. People will fight over what clean water there is. It needs to be the governments get their act together. The people need to smarten up. The ones, and I don't mean the people, I mean the ones that are already smart, need to act as a group and get this shit going. Get better people into our government's leadership. We have trash in there now. You know, they're all worried about little stuff like who's getting the money and who's getting this deal and who's getting that deal when the humanity is desperately needing help from its leadership. Here the U.S. is about to either put Clinton or Trump in, and I do believe it's going to be Clinton. What a disaster. Of either one, when Jill Stein's available, but... The magic technique, when we say I grow weak. We've got so many time bombs ticking, and they're all ready to go off at the same time, but we seem to be ignoring them all. So I thought that would be the kind of an interesting discussion point today, and you can put your comments down below. We appreciate all your comments and your ups and your downs and the new subscribers. And until next time.